Okay, hi everybody. Today I'm going to talk about cavitation on a jet ski. Well, it could be a jet boat as well, whatever you're running, but if it's got a jet pump on it, you can have cavitation. There's obviously two types. There's a mechanical problem that causes cavitation, a worn impeller, the wear ring around the impeller, damaged bearings in the jet pump, etc. There's multiple issues on a mechanical issue that can cause cavitation. But today I'm going to talk about cavitation caused by picking up debris in the water. Anything that floats or anything that's just under the surface, this intake grate under your ski here, now we're going to go under there in a minute, there's an intake grate, works like a vacuum. And as you go through the water, any debris that you go over can get sucked up in there. And what are the symptoms of cavitation? Well, you give it throttle. Here's your throttle here. We'll use, this could be on any jet ski or jet boat, but you give it throttle, and instead of getting full power, you feel like a slipping clutch almost, like in a car. If you've ever had a car where the clutch is worn out and is slipping and you give it throttle, it slips, the motor's revving up, but you're not getting full power, or it surges, and then it slips and it surges, maybe vibrates, you could have a cavitation problem. That's why I always say, actually in some of my other videos, always start the ski in lots of water, 3, 4, 5 feet of water minimum, and shut it off in lots of water so you don't suck up any gravel or debris near the bottom of the ocean or lake or wherever you're running. But anyways, let's talk about some items that you can suck up. Well, fishing line, you can suck that up into your impeller, into your intake grate. It'll end up in your impeller. Like I say, we'll go there in a minute. Well, wood chips. I used some cardboard. I didn't have any wood chips here. Had some teak here in Asia, but it'd take me forever to chip it up. But a friend of mine sucked up a couple wood chips, caused cavitation, and that's what his cause was. Could be some string, anything floating on the surface, that can get sucked up. So thicker string, some rope, gets sucked up in the intake grate, wraps around the drive shaft, the impeller, interrupts the water flow, and you get cavitation. It starts slipping. Like I say, the motor revs up. Anyways, you can suck up some plastic bags, some plastic, anything that's floating or anything that's just under the surface that intake grate can suck up. Well, let's say you suck up some fishing line or rope or plastic. What's the remedy? Normally it's only happened to me twice in 11 skis in 7 years. Take the ski back to the trailer, put it on the trailer, go underneath and start cutting it out. How do I cut it out? Well, I always carry knives on my skis, a couple, 2 or 3 knives. I buy these cheap steak knife things and they work well. And I use this hook thing. Let's get a shot of it. It's actually a coat hanger. I fold it in half to fit into my little secondary tool kit. And it sits in there with my knives and all that. So I can literally just pull stuff out of the intake grate that's wrapped around the impeller, fishing line, rope, whatever it might be. If I got a wood chip jammed in there, I could use this to poke at it. Having said that, it's kind of a tough job to go through that intake grate. You might not be able to do it effectively if it's really wrapped around whatever you've sucked up. So the next step is I always pack 2 Allen keys in case I strip one, pair of vice grips. I put them on the end so I can undo the intake grate. So anyways, let's go under there and have a good look, and so you know what I'm talking about here. Okay, so we're under the ski, and I've got a long screwdriver. Here's your intake grate here. Okay, there it is there. So stuff, plastic, rope, fishing line, whatever it is, can get sucked up, end up, I'll use my screwdriver here, end up wrapped around the drive shaft, jammed up between the impeller, this is your impeller, the wear ring, It could be jammed in here, plastic bag, a whole bunch of rope around the shaft, and it impedes the water flow. As the water gets sucked up or drawn, whatever term you want to use, and goes in, instead of getting blown out the back in full power, whatever you've sucked up is interrupting the water flow. That's probably the best way to put it. So now, as you can see, to get up in there and start cutting out fishing line, rope, whatever it is, it could be kind of tough. You can see why I made up that little grabber device out of a coat hanger. It can help you, but it could be a real pain, you know, and it might be easier to take off your intake grate. It's fairly easy. There's your Allen screws here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not that tight. It's fairly tight. Now, I know the manual states to use a Loctite agent on it, like a non-permanent locker, not Loctite red, but a medium Loctite on these. I just put some grease on them and tighten them up pretty tight. So anyways, you might have to take this intake grate off so you can get up there. Then you can get up there and it's so easy to work on. You can cut everything out, because as you can see, trying to stick a knife up through here and cut, by the time you undo this intake grate, it doesn't take that long, and it might be a lot quicker. Now, you might be in a position where, you know, you can't do that. You might have a lot of rope up there, and your trailer's a long ways away, and it's jammed up. I always carry goggles with me. You might have to swim underneath here and try to cut out whatever's in there in the water. Worst case scenario, if you suck up an entire rope and you're dead in the water, in other words, it's shut your motor off, your motor won't turn. Your other option would be to push the ski, get at the back of the ski and use it like a kick with your feet, start kicking, get to shore, put a couple life jackets down, flip the ski on its side, hopefully somebody's with you, and start cutting it out. You know, you know, it's so, you want to avoid getting anything up there, but I know what can happen. So, and after every time I take my ski out, I just come underneath here, have a quick look, verify I don't have any fishing line, I don't have any rope. Could just be a little piece, even though it was running fine, but next time maybe it won't. It'll get sucked up into the between the wear ring and the impeller here. And just have a quick look. And that's what I do each time. So I had it out a few days ago, and I came under here, and everything looked good. So while you're down here, always have a look at this. If you got a Kawasaki Ultra, it could be any ski, but they're designed differently on a Sea-Doo. But there's a rubber ring around here. Check the condition of that. Make sure it's not blown out. Check your impeller for big chips out of it, excessive wear. I'm not an expert on pumps. I know how to take out this jet pump. I do not know how to rebuild it yet because I haven't got to that stage. But if you want to know how to take out the jet pump, I would say you're having cavitation issues and there's no debris up here, but it's definitely cavitating. You can follow one of my videos if you want. Remove the jet pump, take it to an expert, or get some guys to coach you along how to do it. But it's my understanding if your impeller's wrecked, just putting a new impeller may not solve the cavitation issue because it has to be matched to the wear ring where I've got my screwdriver here. So there's certain clearances between the tips of the impeller and the wear ring. And some guys say it's easier just to send the jet pump out. That means the impeller and the wear ring, the whole unit. And they'll machine and add whatever they have to the leading edges of your impeller, and machine this wear ring, and they'll get perfect tolerances, clearances as per the factory specs. And I think it's even cheaper than buying a new impeller, and a new impeller may not solve the problem. So yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. Bearings in the back could be screwed. There's a variety of issues, but today I'm just talking about sucking up debris and that. So anyways, those are some issues to consider. The first time I had a cavitation issue was on a Sea-Doo, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand it, and my friend had a lot of skis, and he told me what was going on, and sure enough, we had a whole bunch of fishing line wrapped around it, around the around the drive shaft and the impeller. So anyways, so talking about cavitation, hope that helps. That's today's tip from Rod, and all the best.